What's up, YouTube? This is a theory and conjecture video. I just want to share my thoughts and where I am on the understanding of space and this stuff right now. I don't know, and nobody does either, until we can go up way high, you know, like to the moon or whatever, which no one went through the firmament. I don't care what they say. Which be your dome or glass, ice, crystal, adamantium, sphere, or whatever it is. Okay, and the whole dome thing, it doesn't matter to me whether it be a dome above or the sphere around us. It's the same thing. You got a dome above and a dome below. It's all, to me, it's all the same thing. It really doesn't matter to me. I think Satan and the fallen angels were kicked out of heaven down here. They made this place their little personal playground. We got caught up in it, and I think the firmament is their prison. So whatever encompasses, surrounds this place, the shell, if you will. I don't know what the shape of the earth is. I don't claim to know. I do not believe it's a globe. It just sucks with the flat earth stuff, because I would like to have a lot more discussions and debates about that, but I'll never do it because you can't. I really, to be honest with you, I don't think there's anybody on YouTube that does a good job of the flat earth stuff, because it's always very insulting, it's always very condescending, and it comes at me the wrong way. If people could just chill out and just be like, this is why I think it's flat, this is where I get my ideas from, and we could sit down and talk about it, that'd be great. But there's no one on YouTube, and as far as I'm concerned, that does that. They're always loud, they're always yelling, they're always name calling, they're always very vulgar, and I don't give a shit about cussing, but it's different. There's a difference between cussing and cussing at people and cussing at someone. And it's a shame. But the shape of the earth isn't what this video is about. Okay, it's about space, you know, which I don't believe in. I don't think NASA's been to the moon. I don't think there is an outer space. Okay, so I think all the planets and all that stuff is as above, so below, which also means inside and outside. And all the planets are a representation of emotions and this kind of stuff that's inside of each and every one of us. NASA does tell you the truth. It's just you gotta dig and dig and dig and dig to get there. Like, for an example, they could give you a 10-hour presentation, but there'll probably be like 10 seconds worth of truth in it. So everything they say is twisted and presented in a deceiving way on purpose, but there is a small grain of truth. It's just buried beneath so much bullshit. Okay? I would like to thank Aaron for sending me this quote from Tesla. Now, do I know Tesla said this? No, I don't. But regardless of who said it, it's really not important. But I'll read the whole thing just for context, and I'll put it below. Earth is a realm. It's not a planet. It's not an object, therefore it has no edge. Earth would be more easily defined as a system environment. Earth is also a machine. It is a Tesla coil. The sun and moon are powered wirelessly with the electromagnetic field, or the aether or ether, however you want to pronounce it. This field also suspends the celestial spheres with electromagnetic levitation. Electromagnetic levitation disproves gravity, because the only force you need to counter is the electromagnetic force, not gravity. The stars are attached to the firmament. Okay? The only thing, I just wanted to read you the whole quote, but the two things I want to focus on here is what he said at the very beginning, or supposedly said. Like I said, who cares? Earth is a realm, it's not a planet. Now, I have to do the hand sign just for context of the video, so I can show you where I'm coming from. When we got our dirtbag politicians and people in Hollywood doing this crap, yeah? There's a bunch of different meanings behind this. It is in my opinion, it is 666. It's also, and I'm not trying to be vulgar and gross, but it's also the butthole, because these guys worship Saturn, and Saturn is the butthole on the chakra points of the body. Okay, look that up. I'm not trying to be vulgar, but it's the truth. Another thing that I do think that means is it's the core, it's the layers of all of this stuff, and meaning the truth, and also meaning our reality. Because I think we are in, whether it's the third or fourth dimension that we're in, because I've heard both, but the actual numerical value, whether it be the third or fourth dimension that we're stuck in, is not really important to me. What's important for me to understand and realize is that there are several different layers, several different dimensions, several different realities, several different layers, levels, whatever, all stacked on top of each other, all happening at the same time. So whether it be this is us, and I'm not saying that this is the shape or that we're on a globe, I'm just trying to give you, I don't know if the layers surround us and go outward like that, or if we're more like this and it's all stacked on top of each other. Okay? But whenever NASA talks about space, I think they're referring to the space in between the dimensions, the space in between the layers, the space in between the spaces. And Cern is it fits in there, because that thing is how they mold all these dimensions together. I do believe that the World Trade Center was a big tuning fork, and Cern is a bell. And they're talking about tuning two or more realities into one. And that's what that thing does. It's an old machine that's been rebuilt a bunch of times. The thing is ancient, man. Just look up old artifacts, for crying out loud. And it is a time machine. I mean, even, I'll put the link below, even Vanderbilt University said that. And I don't know how it all ties in, but I know those guys can time travel, and I know they're getting information from other realms and other dimensions that teach them and show them how to do this stuff. And the reason, and look, I may not be right, but I tell you why right now I'm 100% convinced that they can time travel is because of the currency. You can take that currency and you can superimpose it over images of, like, the Oklahoma City bombing, the Pentagon, the World Trade Center. And it is so impeccably precise that it's impossible. Unless they've seen it or they've been there. Because in my mind, there is no possible way ever that it could be so immensely accurate. And if you go to, like, if you just type in Chicago bean, it's the thing, it looks like a big giant kidney bean, but it looks like a mirror. I think that they are talking about a dimension inside a dimension. That's like a window into another dimension. So whether they've actually been there before these things happen, or they somehow can use that machine and tear a window open and look and see what it looks like, they have to be doing some sort of time travel for it to be so damn accurate, in my opinion, where I'm standing right now. So when they talk about space, I really think that's what they're referencing as the space in between the dimensions, the realities, the layers, the levels. And that's what one of the things the 666 hand sign is they're talking about the core, they're talking about the layers, they're talking about the levels that you just keep. And anybody who knows, when you start researching, man, you peel one layer after another, and the more layers you peel, the more it stinks. It's like an onion. So that's where I'm at right now. Just sharing what I'm learning, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not trying to convince anybody, for crying out loud. We'd get a lot farther with all this stuff if we could just, as so cliche as it sounds, get along, but it's just never going to happen, because the majority of YouTube is there to distract and for disinformation, and there's a lot of people who are paid to do it. Not, in my opinion, there are not that many genuine video makers on here. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So as I learn more and get it all, more I figure out or don't figure out or whatever, hypothesize, I'll share it with anybody and everybody who's willing to listen. I appreciate the people out there who are trying to put their heads together and work this stuff out. I just wish there were more of us who felt the same way. And it's not about being wrong or being right. It's just about not being afraid to speak your mind, because we all have the truth, man. It's just all busted up. So, okay. Thank you to my subscribers for the continued support. You all are great. And I'll see you on the next video.